The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has reached another tense moment, with Kyiv sharply responding to Vladimir Putin's latest demand that peace talks be held in Moscow. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga did not hold back in criticizing Putin's proposal, calling it a deliberate provocation. Sybiga pointed out that at least 7 countries, including Austria, the Vatican, Switzerland, Turkey, and 3 Gulf states, have offered to host peace negotiations. These are serious and credible offers, and President Zelenskyy is prepared to engage in talks at any time, Sybiga emphasized. Meanwhile, Putin continues to waste everyone's time by putting forward proposals he knows are unacceptable. But here's where it gets controversial. Putin ended a press conference in Beijing by insisting that any direct peace discussions between himself and Zelenskyy must take place in Moscow. This demand is loaded with symbolism and danger. For Zelenskyy, traveling to Moscow would not only be seen as a humiliating concession, but also pose a significant security risk, given Russia's repeated attempts to assassinate him since the war escalated. At the time of this announcement, Putin was in China meeting with key global leaders: Xi Jinping of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, and Narendra Modi of India. These alliances are far from neutral. North Korea has openly sent troops and ammunition to support Russia's war effort, while China and India have continued purchasing Russian oil, indirectly fueling Moscow's military operations. Moreover, China has been documented supplying Russia with goods that can be used in warfare, raising serious concerns about the international dimensions of this conflict. European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas highlighted this troubling reality, stating, "Russia is not acting alone. China supplies up to 80% of Russia's dual-use imports. For those unfamiliar, dual-use goods are items that appear civilian, but can be repurposed for military use, often with the supplier's full awareness." Kallas warned that this support enables the killing to continue in Ukraine. A stark reminder of how global supply chains can impact war. Meanwhile, the violence on the ground shows no signs of abating. Ukrainian authorities reported that Russia launched over 500 drones and 24 missiles in a single day, targeting mainly civilian infrastructure, such as energy facilities in western and central Ukraine. President Zelenskyy described these attacks as deliberate attempts to cripple Ukraine's power supply, which also resulted in at least 5 injuries. The human toll is devastating. In Kostiantynivka, Russian shelling and drone strikes killed 9 people and injured 7 more, according to Vadim Filishkin, head of the Donetsk region's military administration. He detailed how artillery fire in the morning killed 8 individuals aged between 44 and 74, and subsequent drone attacks on civilian vehicles claimed the life of a 36-year-old woman. These tragic losses underscore the brutal impact of the conflict on ordinary civilians. On the diplomatic front, French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed Zelenskyy to Paris on Wednesday evening, ahead of a crucial meeting among European nations. The gathering aims to explore what kind of security guarantees can be offered to Ukraine after the war, potentially in partnership with the United States. Macron also revealed that defense ministers from 35 coalition countries have confirmed and documented their contributions to Ukraine's defense efforts. Adding to the diplomatic buzz, Zelenskyy is scheduled to speak with former U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday, according to an unnamed White House official cited by the Associated Press. The battlefield remains fiercely contested, with conflicting reports from Russian and Ukrainian forces about control over the city of Kupiansk in Ukraine's northeastern Kharkiv region. Russia claimed to have seized roughly half of the city, backing this up with drone footage showing a soldier holding a Russian flag on a road. Ukraine's 10th Army Corps dismissed this as staged propaganda and released their own video purportedly showing a Russian unit being destroyed. Independent observers, such as the Deepstate war blog, noted that the flag waving occurred in a disputed area on Kupiansk's southern outskirts. Later reports from the Ukrainian General Staff confirmed ongoing armed clashes in the Kupiansk sector, and nearly 50 Russian attempts to breach Ukrainian defenses near Pokrovsk. In a somewhat cryptic statement at the White House, Donald Trump told reporters, "I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or another. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy about it. And if we're unhappy, you'll see things happen." Trump did not elaborate on what actions he was referring to, leaving room for speculation. Meanwhile, Putin expressed a cautiously optimistic view, saying, "If common sense prevails, it is possible to agree on an acceptable way to end the conflict. I believe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Let's see how the situation unfolds. If not, then we will have to achieve our goals by military means." This statement raises a critical question. Is there truly a path to peace, or is continued warfare inevitable? And this is the part most people miss. While diplomatic efforts and international pressure continue, the war's outcome remains uncertain, and the stakes for Ukraine's sovereignty and security are higher than ever. What do you think? Is Putin's demand for talks in Moscow a genuine step toward peace or a strategic ploy? Can international players like China and India be held accountable for their roles in this conflict? Share your thoughts and join the conversation below.